like 2 days before I turned 5, and so my
Oh my
mom was a
gosh.
single mother, doing waitressing jobs and a bunch of stuff, and my brother, that's a whole different topic. And so nobody would talk to me, and I didn't have no outlet to vent or to get what was in my head out. And so what I would do is I just write. And so I had a bunch of stuff written that I lost along the way, but now I just write about anything that comes to mind. It can be like the other day I wrote some things on my Instagram and whatnot that my wife into Me Too and the women's movement, and so I wrote things. I put myself in their shoes, and I wrote a few things in that mindset. And then one night I was sitting on the couch, and our dog farted, and I wrote a poem about it.
Wait, wait, wait,
Um,
wait. Your dog farted?
yes. Do you ever have a dog fart beside you, and it scares the living heck out of them? They go from drooling on the couch to like bright eyed alert and like freaked out.
I have a
You know,
dog that farts every night. Like he's laying here like by my feet, and he farts every night.
but he never gets woke up. Like he
Nah,
never scares them.
nah. But it's some
Okay.
nasty
Oh, that's
stuff.
funny.
Some rancid stuff though. I'm just like, man, buddy, you need some help.
I can beat a dog fart though. Have you ever had a cat fart on you?
I,
No. Ugh,
I
gross.
Oh
think
my God, it's worse.
yeah, it's pretty bad. So I wrote stuff about the cats and the dogs in the house, and just um, yeah, I don't know. It's just I can write better most of the time. It's depending on the topics. I can write better than I can speak it for some reason. But yeah, if you ever get bored, check out Instagram and look at some of the things I wrote. You'll get a good laugh out of some of them.
I will
Okay.
have to do that because I love poetry.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't. When you read the poetry of broken, I don't write. I write differently than my wife does. My wife is very proper, and it looks like a poem. It looks like it's supposed to be a poem, and it makes sense. And she's got the stanzas, and she understands the rhythms and all that stuff. I just kind of write whatever comes in my head. I just put it down. And so when you read the poetry book, and you'll read mine, you'll read hers, and you'll see the difference. But either way, you get a really good, clear picture of our minds and kind of what was going on while the book was being written and everything.
Yeah.
But see, I would like that better in a book like that, and because that breaks it up, makes it different,
Yeah.
and it's not all the same, and you can't tell what one person wrote and what the other person wrote, especially in a poem book.
Yeah, I mean, we got our own like acknowledgments, and it's mine because in the glass mask, it's she had to use fairy tale names, and so I'm the knight, and she's beauty, and so mine's the knight tale, mine's the poems from the knight's perspective, and then hers is the poems from the beauty perspective, and so we have clear separation between them in the book.
Cool.
Oh, then yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
nifty.
I
And it's
just
short, so
got
I
and
mean
downloaded
yeah.
Poetry for the Broken, and that's the one you already have out,
Right, that one and the glass mask are both out right now.
right?
Now, do you have
So I
other
have that one.
published works out there?
Those are the first two we've got, but like I said, the Ransom Texas is coming out the end of this month on the 30th.
Okay. Have you received any sort of feedback from any beta readers or friends or family?
We haven't got the edited copy. It's supposed to be coming back, I think, this week or the coming up week. We're supposed to get the edited copy finally back so we can look at it. As far as her, the Glass Mask, she's got 5 stars on Amazon, and it's been well received, and the poetry book's been well received too.
Oh, that's good,
So,
man. That's good. Man, a good reception
yeah,
is.
we haven't ever, the whole community of writers in general has been really supportive. We've made some good friends along the way between editors and people that do the cover art and everything. And so we haven't never had anybody just come out and be like, what are you doing or what the heck is this? So that's a good thing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Man, I mean, as far as the writing goes, but I mean, you've had experience before, though, right? I mean, it sounds like this your guys' like first effort, but I take it that you guys have probably went through the ringer through editing and you know getting feedback before, and I mean it's not an easy process to work on a book.
Not at all. The ransom one, she had gone through the process of going all the way up with it and getting beta readers and everything, and then life happened along the way. She got cancer and had a baby, and different things happened, and then it got shuffled to the back burner. And then I never had anything as far as formal writing. I just write just to write. So whenever she was doing the glass mask, she did a few chapters, but it was more therapy for her. She wanted to get it out so that way she could move on. And so she started at the end of last year, and then she sent it out to different people. And Amazon came back and was like, "Hey, we like this concept. We want the book concept. We want to see the book." And so she had January to like April to actually finish it, like go through and actually write a book out of it. And so, and then ever since then, it's just been, we've really been doing it. She has a publisher, but we do a lot of the pushing ourselves. We do a lot of the social media, marketing. We've had to pay for some of the books, pay for posters, just all kinds of things. We're really, that we have a little bit of, support from them, but we do a lot of it on ourselves too. And it's also been one of those processes where we don't know what we're doing 100%. So it's trial and error too.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the process. I mean you learn as you go. Oh, it's so grueling too. All right.
Yeah, but it's I mean, like I said, it's a labor of love though. I mean, we want it. Poetry and writing is one of those things that you put it down and it will live forever. There's things in the Library of Congress out there. Once you put it out there, you're putting your basically your heart out there, your soul out there. And so, like I said, it's a labor of love, and we want to be recognized. But like her memoir was just telling her story, trying to give voices to all those women out there that don't have voices. And then
Yeah.
the poetry book, I wanted to add my piece to it to show, mine's a little bit more uplifting, more supportive, because hers is very good, but she was going through some rough stuff trying to relive that stuff. And so you can see some of the things in there. It's a little bit darker. And so I wanted to kind of give that yin and yang to it. And then when we did the ransom texts, I knew we'd been wanting to redo it. We wanted to write the story up, and then we found that copy. And I'm like, okay, she wanted to do it a while back. I want this to happen for her. So I wanted to make sure that it finally got the light of day. And so that was my motivation, is to get it typed up, because I wanted it out there for her, basically.
All right.
That's one of the things I love about poetry, is that it is so heartfelt, and it comes from your soul. I mean, there's just absolutely no faking it.
No, it's like music. I mean, a good songwriter, you're gonna know exactly what they were feeling. Possibly where they were setting. What they were outside, inside, whether it was night or day. When you write a good song or hear a good song, you're gonna know exactly what's going on. And poetry and writing is kind of the same way. You can't write, a sci-fi book if you have no knowledge of sci-fi.
Yeah.
It's
so
gonna
agreed.
work. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, some people will try to fake it, but it comes off cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I mean, hell, I couldn't even write poetry. That's why I wouldn't even try. It would come off as like, I don't know, so pretentious and all that.
You could too.
I would write drunk poetry. That's what I do.
Speaking of drunk, have you taken a shot yet?
No. Which, by the way, to take a shot tonight, what I need is I need to see some viewers. Right now, we only have two. We only have 2 live viewers. We need to bump that up. I'll be taking some shots. I'll take a shot for every 10 viewers. And also, any good have you ever questions? Becky, you got a good have you ever question?
Ooh. No, but I'll think of one for you.
Okay. All right. In meantime, besides writing, tell me a little bit about your can't even speak. Your military life. Tell me about that. That's interesting.
Yeah. So whenever I graduated high school in '02, my associate's '04, my bachelor's in '06, and jumped into my master's, and then by December I was kicked out for having three C's. And so I had to appeal and get back in. And when they accepted me back in, but I'm like, well, if this don't quite pan out, I need another plan that is a guaranteed source of income that I can't be fired from, pretty much, and that I can do things with. And so I joined the Navy Reserves because I still wanted to be able to. I didn't want to be active where I was attached somewhere. I wanted to have the flexibility of my life and the military life.
Okay.
And so I went to boot camp January 2008, and then went to Chicago, which is not a good idea to go to Chicago in January.
Oh, why is that?
But
Oh,
yeah,
because cold or because of?
yeah, there was like 10 feet of snow every day, and there was negative 40 degrees, and it's not like Texas. So
Yeah.
yeah. But an interesting thing is they had Universal Studios build a simulation studio up there for training, and we were like the second class to go through that, I think.
Mm.
And they have like battle days. The end of at the very end of boot camp, they used to have, well, each building up there is a name of a ship. And so at the end of it, what you used to do is you stay awake like 24, 36 hours straight.
Yeah.
And you would have to go through these stations, and you used to have to run from building to building to building and go all over the place. Now you just go into that simulation, and it's a big ship. And like when you go through the firefighting piece of it, there's literally strobe lights, and there's like it looks like broken concrete, and you're like crawling through stuff and everything else. And so you're up for like 36 hours. The ship is rocking and rolling, and it looks like you're coming in and out of port and everything. And so it's pretty crazy.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And
So
then I went there to Virginia for training, for additional training.
man, so were you like deployed in Iraq and shit like that?
I was deployed, involuntary mobilized in 2010 to Dubai, which is the United Arab Emirates. I drilled out of Houston. They were, they thought they already told me that I was deploying, but they just forgot to mention it to me. So they had come down from upstairs to talk to a few other guys that were deploying that had put in orders, and they saw my name tag, and they were like, "Oh, I've seen your name on a paper.
Yeah.
You're deploying." And so then they were like, they looked it up, and it said, when they first saw it on the computer, it said Cuba. And then when they clicked on it, no, it's Dubai. And I'm like, where is Dubai and what is Dubai? And so within a few months, I had to take off. We trained in Virginia for 4 months, and then overseas for like 7 months. And
Okay.
then in 2012, the unit went back, and they asked if I wanted to go back, and I said sure. And so I went ahead and jumped back on that one, went back over there. But I actually didn't go to Dubai. Um, Along that process, a lot of things happened, and I ended up on a ship for like 7 months doing security.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So I mean, how's it like being like the military police? I mean, fuck, I feel kind of weird having you on the show right now, military police. I mean, am I okay over here? I mean, I got booze, I got cocaine, got hookers. I mean, might have midget hookers in the love dungeon. Is this okay? Am I gonna be in trouble here?
Yeah, you're fine because there's different justification. There's jurisdiction, and so
Oh, okay.
military has like proprietary jurisdiction for the property they own, and then for things that happen, like if you were coming on post and you were just off base and you were drunk, you're not actually on government property, so we would just have to call it in and have civilians come get you because we can't just go anywhere and do what we want to do. I mean, you have civilian, you have military, so you're not on base, so you're free. I mean, you can do
man.
as long as.
You're not supposed to tell him that.
Well, I can't do nothing about it. So I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he's
But
free.
you're supposed to tell him, let him think that he's gonna get in trouble, so he's good.
Well, I already have suspicious black vans outside my house, so I mean.
I'm not the good angel here. I'm not on his shoulder. I mean, he's a grown man. He can do what he wants.
Speaking of which, I'll go ahead and take a shot
yeah.
now. I'll go and take a shot. Just show people the shot
Yeah,
cam.
please.
The shot cam, ladies and gentlemen. a camera just for the shots. So that way you can see that I'm actually pouring it. I'm pouring it for real. Take a
Now
shot
I
of
really
Triple
need
Jack.
to see you drinking it.
Oh, you'll see
Yeah,
it. You'll see it soon. I think it's a little buffer. Oh, you want to see me
There's
actually
new
drink
crowd
it?
out there, too.
I mean, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna pour it out? Am I just gonna pour it? No, here we go.
And there's like 2 new types of crowd out there too.
Oh man. All right.
Burn.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Now we can continue.
Man, actually, being the military
May.
police, don't you get shit on for being like the fun police?
Depends. Like we were in Dubai, and it was kind of a port community basically. And so we had an area where if the Marines or Army or whoever came in, there was like little shops where you can get the knockoff Dr. Dre headphones, but they also had food and different things. And so like the Marines would come in and they would come in and have fun or whatever. And so over there, if they got too wild and crazy, we would just call the ship and be like, hey, like one night, a Marine decided to put a knife standing up in a chair that one guy sat on, which was lovely. And so we just called their ship and be like, y'all need to come get these guys. And so they just went and took them off. And so because we had our M4 with 120 rounds and our 9mm and 45 rounds, and we had all this stuff. I don't want to come close to you if you were drunk.
Yeah.
Because that endangers everybody around us. So I'm going to approach things with caution.
True.
And they told us, if anything happens, don't go hands on. Call their people and tell their people to take care of their people. So.
Yeah, you gotta be smart about that. I mean, fuck. Then again, it's bias. I have some buddies that are in the military. They were like, "Oh man, you gotta watch out for the military police. They're the fun police. They always come in and take the liquor and bust the parties. And if you're having too much fun, they're gonna stop you." It's like, well, I guess define fun, man. Define what you mean by fun.
Well, you gotta realize the guys, once they get off duty, they're the same guys that go back to those parties and drink and have fun. The only thing they're doing is if you do something wrong that endangers somebody or the lives or whatever, then they have to come and they have to slap you on the hand or whatever. But that's not their fault.
Yeah.
That you were being really unruly or jumping off the roof or whatever you're doing. That's not their fault. And then once they're off duty, then they can come hang out with you. So they're the same people. I mean, it's not two different people. They're the same people. It's just they have to respond to things just like anybody else would,
Yeah, it makes sense. You know what? That gets to another thing. People don't like to take responsibility for their actions. People don't want to take responsibility for their behavior.
They don't.
And
yeah, and I went through McDonald's today, and they charged me twice for tea, and I had the receipt, and I showed it to the lady at the drive-thru. I'm like, look, they charged me for 2 teas. And she's like, I don't know nothing about that. I didn't do it. I didn't ring you up. I'm like, I'm not asking you if you did it. I'm just responding that you did this, and I need another tea. But she was like, I'm not taking action. I'm not taking responsibility for it. I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm not asking you to.
That's
I'm like,
pathetic.
really?
That's
I
pathetic.
know.
I mean, gosh.
How old
Yeah,
was
she
this
was going to try
person?
to call her supervisor over to fix it or whatever. I'm like, really?
That is,
I don't know.
wait a second. Is this person an adult?
They look like they were in the 20s probably.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. That's part of the problem right there.
Yeah, fucking
Yeah, but still, that's not adult though. I mean,
freaking
Right.
millennials. I don't know. That's sad. That's sad. I would chew into that motherfucker if that happened. If we cross paths, I don't know. I pick him. It might be surprising, but I do pick and choose my battles on the mountain public. But something like that were to happen, I'd be like, "What the fuck?" I wasn't saying you did it. I was saying this happened, and you work here so you can fix it. I mean, if you're the guy ringing stuff at the behind the cash register, you could fix this, right? It makes sense. You charge me for 2 teas. I only got 1 tea. Either give me another tea, or refund me that charge. But I could use another tea.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
in customer service, and I was a volunteer firefighter for like 10 years, and so I've been in stressful situations, and so nothing bothers me. So I just calmly just said, "Hey, just bring me another tea. Don't worry about it. It's all good."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, okay." And she just grabbed the tea, and that was it. And so it was simple, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make situations as bad as you want to, but it's not worth it, honestly. You know.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you start off easy. I mean, you start off just wanting a simple resolution. It should make
Yeah.
sense. Just another tea like that. But yeah, I used to work
Yeah.
customer service and used to work fast food, high school job. People coming and complain about this and that. It's like, come on, man, seriously. But whatever. Man, so the military police isn't really the anti-fun police. They're just doing their job, because some people are having way too
Right.
much fun with like fully automatics and shit. So
Oh,
what
Lord.
what happens when you guys bust people? Like I hear stories that but military court is a lot different.
Yeah, I mean, we've got our own, we got our own rules and everything, and I mean, they're not too much different, but um, I mean, it's the same mindset as a civilian police. I mean, you can't if you go into a house like looking for something, um, and let's say you're looking for a baseball bat or something really big, you cannot go in there and search like a little bitty cubby hole, because guess what? It's not going to fit in there. So logic goes, you can't open certain areas that you're doing a search. Or I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of it's just, I mean, yeah, it's just mostly simple stuff. I mean,
yeah, that makes sense. Makes
So,
sense.
what's the craziest thing you've ever seen happen
happened.
that that you can tell us about?
Yeah,
Whatever. What's it called?
yeah. The
Oh
craziest
yeah,
thing.
we had a guy when we were over there in Dubai, and so in Dubai, the cabs for one thing, the tops are color coded. So for women they have their own. I forget what color it is now, but they have their own color taxi, and you never get in the front seat. You only get in the back seat, because that's I don't know what the deal is. But anyways, the cab it's a dry country, and so the cab drivers, if you were to throw up in the back of their car or whatever happens over there, they just take you straight to the police and drop you off, and they don't
Oh,
care. Yeah.
Wow.
So we had a guy that actually he missed ship's movement, because he got drunk in a police car and kicked out a window, and he ended up in on our little installation thing, and we put him in a comics box, and so he actually was on a video we saw later about how not to be drunk and do things like, but he lived like in this little box for a while, and he just kind of like he could never leave, and it was just odd, but he got in trouble for getting drunk. I was trying to remember, he got drunk and kicked out a window, but we also had a guy where he got drunk and ended up in somebody else's apartment, and
oh my gosh.
that was big. That was and yeah, in the Middle East, which is bad, and so that was an interesting thing too, because I think he went in there and was like trashing the place or something. I don't know.
Oh damn.
Oh no.
Yeah, I
Oh
remember where there
shit.
was one time where the guy came through a gate drunk, and he was very, I don't know, he was completely out of there, and he didn't want to listen to us at all. And I forget why he did it, but his solution to not being listened to was to strip butt naked and make a big scene.
Okay.
Which never solved anything, honestly. I mean, just keep your clothes on, we'll figure it out. So we had to call the ship that he was on and be like, okay, he's naked, come fix this. And so as soon as he thought he was big and bad and everything else, and then all of a sudden his commanding person came in the door, and his face changed and everything changed, and he was like, oh crap.
Yeah.
And so he just kind of put his
Holy
pants back on.
hell. What happened to him? I mean, he didn't
Yeah,
get his hand chopped off or anything, right? Because fucking shit, you don't step out of line in Dubai. I mean, I mean,
yeah, no, he was on installation when he stripped naked, so we just turned him over. I mean, and the other guy that got arrested, he got charges of like pressed on him, but I don't remember what happened to him. I mean, I think of it, he was fine. I mean, in the end, he was fine, but alcohol just don't mix in the military too well.
No.
No, but especially when you add like a country like Dubai, with the Islamic, it's like religious laws. Like that's the reason why it's dry, right?
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe their choice, you know. Because I was in Bahrain for a while, and they're not dry, and so the people from Saudi Arabia come over, they come over to drink, pretty much.
Well, hey, the princess.
I guess Allah, Allah can't see you if you're not in your country. So if you leave your country,
the kings have to go somewhere to drink. Come on. Those guys live large. You know they're drinking.
Yeah, we almost got in trouble one night because we were over there and they came in and they were undoing their collars and they had the white shirts and everything and they're all proper. And so we said, all right, well, we're going to be Canadian, Canadian workers, And so we went over and said hi to them and was drinking with them for a little while. And they were all like, my friends. And we were having a good old time with them. But then we were like, we could probably get in trouble, so we're going to kind of leave.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, it's crazy. That's
we didn't want to outright say that we were military because that's never good to be out in the public thinking, announcing it. So yeah.
Oh yeah, they'll get you in trouble, huh? Man, probably. I'd be too afraid. I'd be too afraid to drink over there. Hell, man. Whew.
Me too. Well, I couldn't because I'm a girl, but
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I mean, you gotta have a drink, just don't overdo it.
Hell, I'd be afraid to go over there if I was a girl. If I was a woman, I wouldn't want to go over there. Damn it.
No, I do not. Yeah. Because the first time that they told me I couldn't do something because I was a girl, I'd be beheaded.
Yeah. Like what?
Well, see, Dubai is a really big tourist thing, and so Europeans and a bunch of people come through there all the time, and so you can get away with a little bit more as a woman to go through there as long as you get in the right taxis and you have somebody there with you to kind of walk, just kind of keep eye on things.
Right.
But there's so many Europeans, so many different cultures, going through there, especially the big malls and everything, that you wouldn't even stick out. I mean, most of the time. So.
Right.
That's a little better than Bahrain, yeah.
See, that's the thing.
I've heard that it's really pretty over there too.
Oh yeah, imagine so. Yeah. How pretty is it?
Yeah, it's the biggest mall. One of the malls in Dubai has an indoor ski slope. They have the largest.
Holy cow!
They have the largest mall over there too. They've got some kind of Porsche park or Ferrari or something. Where you can drive those over there somewhere. They got a lot of money, and so they got palm trees, and it's not too bad.
Yeah, that's that oil money.
Hey Jesse, let's go do a live show in Dubai.
Yeah. Let's save up the little pennies we get.
We'll fund it with Patreon.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. Become a Deadman's Tome patron. If you do, you get a private show when we go to Dubai. Just watch what happens.
If you go over there and you want a tattoo, I've got a friend over there that tattoos out of his house, and that's where I got most of my work done.
Can I get a tattoo of Muhammad?
No.
Sure, he's a Russian dude that lives in Dubai, and he's a phenomenal tattoo artist.
Okay. I want to ask him that just to see what he would say because what does Muhammad even look like? Because that's the thing, right? That's the question. Be like, could you do that? And I probably he
freehands a lot of his work. If you can just give him something to go off of and just turn him loose, he's really good. Like my brilliant self got both my sides tattooed in 140-degree heat over there.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So I shouldn't, if I go to Dubai, I shouldn't have like two huge beers in each hand, right? That would be a no-no.
Yeah, that would be
Right.
no.
Okay, I
Yeah,
can't
you
have.
can't buy alcohol in the country. You have to go out to the I forget what it's called. You have to go out to the outside of town, and it's illegal to transport it. So
That's
Yeah,
weird.
I can just see Jesse's gonna start a moonshine business in Dubai.
Probably, but I don't understand how Dubai can be a huge tourist attraction, but it not have any alcohol.
I
Because
don't know.
because all these people that go to Dubai, to the ski resorts, to the hotels, whatever, they have to be drinking something, not just water and tea and Coke. I mean, come on now.
Well, it's
Kool-Aid?
140 degrees outside at 10 a.m. in the shade. So I mean,
Yeah, they're probably drinking water, Jesse, and
yeah,
a lot of it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll just go to, Israel and drink over there. I could drink over there, right?
Yeah, go to Ireland or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Just go somewhere
Let's
else.
go to Scotland.
Oh, actually, I had some buddies that were stationed in Germany, and they say great things about that place. When they're stationed there, then they're like getting drunk all the time.
Yeah, I was we did a layover on the way over, so I didn't really get too much Germany, but yeah, I did have a few alcoholic drinks while we were waiting on the flight over, because at that point I'd already been up in the air like 28 hours and I'd about had it. So
Oh my gosh, I bet.
Yeah, like the German nightclubs, man. Phew. They're pretty wild, from what I hear. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. There's some sketchy places over in Bahrain. I know that you just look at it, you're like, I'm not going in there. You couldn't pay me to go in there. No.
Yeah. All right. Oh, by the way, I was looking up some stuff about the Friday the 13th because we were talking about it earlier, and I saw an article on Bloody Disgusting. It was like published like 5 days ago, October 1st, where it looks like there was a settlement regarding Friday the 13th.
Yeah, that's all.
Yep.
It looks like Victor Miller, who was a screenwriter for the first Friday the 13th, the original, has prevailed, and he's won.
Yeah.
He's won. Looks like he's won rights. Granted summary judgment in favor of Miller and against the producers of Horror Inc. Further details were not disclosed, but Miller is said to be retaining the Friday the 13th rights in the U.S. alone, which makes it complicated to use the title. As for Jason Voorhees, his infamous mask wasn't introduced until Friday the 13th Part 3, which means Horror Inc. can use the character without Miller's consent. That makes sense. That makes sense. While, I was at the store getting my little boy and little girl a Halloween costume, right? And I was like, man, I still see this Jason merchandise. Is this weird? Because isn't there a lawsuit pending? But it wouldn't matter either way because Miller had nothing to do with the hockey mask. That was a
and there was something about the rights between international and U.S. in that thing. I forget how it worked. Like it solved part of it, but not all of it. So it's still an ongoing thing. But at least it's making progress.
Yeah, it's making progress, and it looks like Horror Inc. is far from done. They're gonna appeal it. And I understand that Miller has a stake in it. I mean, he wrote Jason in there as the little boy Jason, And that's the thing. That's where I'm like, I understand he created the character, but what he created was the little zombie boy Jason that comes out from the water and takes the girl that's in the canoe. Okay? He did not write hockey face wearing Jason. He didn't write big adult Jason. Okay? So, really... I mean, because they're trying to do the same thing that what some comic book writers, what was it, like wasn't the writers of Superman that they created it and they got the rights back to it. I forgot how it happened with that. But,
I think it was too.
But so this guy's trying to get the rights for this, but he doesn't get the whole right for Jason, big adult Jason. He didn't write big adult Jason. There's no way because he didn't write it.
I don't know. I remember talking about Jason, but there was I forget, was it Arizona or whatever. Did you see the thing where there's a lake where they put a full-size Jason chain at the bottom of the lake and divers can go down and picture of it. But
Yeah.
apparently they got in trouble for it because it was, for whatever reason, they were trying to get them to remove it.
Yo, that's just what that is. That's the anti-fun police. That is the fun police right there. Coming in, you have the military police coming in, be like, "Oh, Jason Voorhees is down here. That's no good. That's no fun." I'm just messing with you.
No. Yeah.
No, but seriously though, the real anti-fun police are those busybody people in those small towns. They have to bitch and complain about every little thing, like a Jason statue underwater, which doesn't harm anyone. You know, how does that affect anyone? How does it affect anything? Hey, Becky, can you Google that real fast? You should be able to find that. It's just look up Jason Voorhees Lake, and you should find it. Because I'm curious, because there's a petition out there to have it stay, because they're trying to remove it, right?
I think so. I don't know about a petition, but I know there was some kind of backlash over it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just, man.
I mean, I would do kind of souvenir.
It was
shop.
in Minnesota.
Oh, okay. We got Becky on the case. Okay, tell us about it. What's going
on? Okay, let's see. We learned about this terrifying real-world horror at Bloody Disgusting, and it's a work of an artist, Curtis Laher, who built this nightmarish, fantastic piece, replete with machete in hand, and placed it 120 feet at the bottom of a popular spot for divers in Crosby, Minnesota. After a few years underwater, the Jason statue is starting to show some wear and tear, but honestly, that just makes him look even more terrifying, like he's long overdue for a murder spree.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah, it doesn't say any. That one doesn't say. Okay, here is one that says they're wanting to remove it. Hang on, it's loading. That one didn't say anything about them wanting to remove it.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're wanting to remove it, all right. Yeah. Look, we got a new viewer. We got some new viewers. Hey, ask us a have you ever question, and if it's good, I'll take a shot. Because I want to play the game, damn it. I got a whole bottle of Jack Daniels over here. Gentleman Jack.
Oh, no. At first, they put him down there, and they didn't tell anybody that who put him down there. Or that he was down there.
Is that bad?
They surprised the divers.
Oh, so the divers complained? Oh, man.
It says park officials weren't amused.
They weren't amused.
Oh, they want to have it removed because it might damage the ecosystem of the lake.
Oh, that is some leftist bullshit. No, man. You telling me it's going to damage the ecosystem? What are you talking about? That's some crazy shit.
Well, it depends on, because I've watched them build the tanks on like TLC or whatever. They have to use the right kind of paints because some of the paints have leads or whatever, and they put stuff in the water and they don't paint it the right way. A, it's not going to hold up, but B, it could poison the fish. So there's a possibility. But if it's been down there for a few years and ain't nobody dead yet, then 9 times out of 10.
It's been down there since 2013.
Yeah.
So I would say if it was going to kill everything, it would have already done it.
Guess what? The fish are already poisoned by the lead. So it's already too late. And we're talking about a statue.
So we'll just leave the damn thing down there.
Yeah. Just let Jason live in the lake. Can't Jason just live in the lake? Oh, man. Oh, this is going to harm the environment. Oh, come on, man. That's just the fun police.
They were quoted as saying, "We really have to be mindful and respectful of nature."
Okay. Yeah. Do you think the same way when you find a roach in your house?
Oh.
Do you think the same way when a mosquito comes around and tries to bite on you?
Then bites me?
Yeah.
No.
My mentality would be like, okay, you don't like this one, so I'm going to make it and a leather face, and I'm going to drop those in the lake as well, not tell nobody, and we're going to add more to it.
I like the way
That's
he
my
thinks.
mentality.
Yeah,
I
I like
love it.
that. I like that.
Okay, there's a second statue.
That's,
The original one
I'm showing.
um
By the way, I'm
is
also
in
showing. I'm showing the watchers that there's a shot. There's a shot of Jack Daniels right here. Just ask the question in the chat. Ask a good "Have you ever?" Which I don't know if you ever played this drinking game. You just ask us, "Have you ever done X or Y?" Like, have you ever done ecstasy, or have you ever done, I don't know, have you ever, I don't know, streaked, or
Have you ever seen exorcism?
Have you ever
oh,
seen what?
An exorcism.
oh, an exorcism.
Ooh.
Ooh, man,
I've seen someone I thought was possessed. Does that count?
that might.
I've actually been part of. I've seen help them do an exorcism. So
Okay,
yeah.
what? Talk about that. I know Becky was gonna say
Yeah,
something, but I
yeah.
think this takes
What?
precedence. What?
Absolutely.
So the house that I live in has a mind of its own, and so we had a few different teams come out, and it was kind of affecting my family and such, and it would turn pictures around or knock pictures down or turn TVs on, turn TVs off. I mean, literally, when it was going on, we literally had everything in the world happen that you can possibly name. And so one team came out and they were like, I don't know what's going on. But their speaker box kept cussing at them, which was funny because they were like, that's
Oh
never
my
happened
God.
before. And then we had another team come out, and he had the sage in a pot, like just a pot you'd have on the stove to cook whatever with. And he went upstairs, and it flared and almost burned all his hair off his arm.
What?
Which
Oh my gosh.
yeah. So finally, when it got really bad, we had another team come out, and we even tried to have the priest in town, the Catholic church come in town. They came in, and the lady at the church was like, "He'll come
Hold
out, but
on, hold on. Does it matter
well,
that? Does it matter that it's a Catholic church? Could it be like a Protestant church or a Baptist
it
church?
was just a church that was
Okay.
across the road.
Okay. Sorry.
So I was like, it was a big church in town. It was the biggest one I knew of. So I was like, I'm gonna call them because they're the biggest ones in town.
Gotcha.
I don't know. So, anyways, the lady at the church was like, you can't tell him what's going on because he won't come out there. And so I'm like, okay, well, just tell him we have a new house that needs blessing. And so he came out and did his whole holy water thing. And my wife got really, really sick at the process, and like 4 of her nails on her hand broke off. And he didn't stay very long, and he kind of yeah, it was kind of odd. And he definitely didn't seem like he was very comfortable coming in here, and he definitely didn't want to stay very long. So,
Oh wow.
Man, oh
but yeah,
man.
we had this one team come out. There was a psychic, a chaos mage, and a psychic, and a median, and then another guy, and it was like
Wait,
all.
did you say Chaos Mage?
Yeah, so one
What,
guy
what
considered himself a chaos mage.
what the fuck is a Chaos Mage?
He dabbles in several things, but in different religions and different things. But he like works on like your energy and how to create bubbles from different spirits and things. I'm not sure. You can Google that one day and see what a chaos mage is. But they came out and basically did kind of like a mini like little exorcism. And from what we were told when they came out, that there was like there was 2 spirits. What they saw, one of them was a little old lady that lived here, that was like at the sink washing dishes and things, and the other guy that was here was basically what they figured was like oppressing her spirit, and he was kind of violent. And so, because we would have scratches, um, all kinds of like marks and stuff that would pop up, like 3 scratches. There was always three scratches, and my wife had a necklace that had a cross. She had a cross on, and it got really hot. And when she lifted it, it had left a red mark of like a burn, almost a burn mark on her. Like we literally saw everything in the world. Like there's stuff we can't make it up if we wanted to make it up. Um, and so, but they did the little thing, and so they said they got rid of the spirit, except for like a month ago. Um, we had a TV turn on in the living room, and He was playing a DVD, and so we were like, okay, I'll just turn the TV off and take the DVD out. Well, then all of a sudden it started playing another DVD that I don't even know. We don't own that DVD, so I'm not sure even where that came from.
Whoa,
And then
whoa! So it's bootlegging.
like
This Spirit is bootlegging a DVD.
I don't know where the movie came from because we didn't own that movie. It may have been in the house from when my brother was murdered a couple of years ago, and so it may have been some of his stuff that it was upstairs somewhere. But we didn't own the DVD, but somehow or another it ended up in the DVD player.
Okay.
And
wait. What was the movie? Was it Backdoor Sluts 9? Is that what you're saying you don't own?
no. It was what's the name of the movie? Eddie and the Cruisers. It's an '80s movie. It's a good movie.
Okay.
But we've had the radio. I have an old receiver with a vinyl record player.
Yeah.
And it played one day without it being plugged in to the wall. It came on, and she had her brother come over, and he refused to come to the house. But it will. If you ever listen to vinyl records, you know that there's no repeat on a record player, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's gonna spin the whole record all the way around, all the way down, and then no, it plays the same song over and over again when it wants to play a certain record. Yeah.
Well, how is this even possible?
Wow.
How is this even possible? Because as a skeptic, I have a shit ton of questions. Okay, wait. Where is this house again? Is it like on some sort of like crazy burial ground or something? What's going on here?
That's what we try to figure out. Apparently, we called it. It was a big slave plantation back in the day. Apparently, the high school in Hearn, used to be haunted as well. There's known things there. There's another house in town close to us that was haunted. There used to be a bunch of graves, and they moved the cemetery to another place. But we don't know if they actually moved the bodies. We know they moved the markers though. So.
Oh wow.
We don't know exactly. We don't really know what all added up and what made this all happen. And trust me, we don't want it to happen. We would have been more than happy just to not have anything happen. But she used to have a little recorder she used to do the newspaper with, and so we would set it up in the house, and then we would leave and then go to the store and come back. And there was been times where I had like little kids giggling, like 2 or 3 kids giggling around it. And we only have one kid, so I don't know how you would have multiple voices on there. It just don't make no sense.
I don't know.
I had a kid. I thought I was talking to my daughter because I was trying to fix, like, all the pictures go sideways, or like we've had the cross go flying across the room and stuff. And so I was trying to fix it. I'm a skeptic. Yeah, I'm a skeptic. So whenever the radio started acting up, I called the electrician, and he come out and checked the plugs, and there was nothing wrong with it. So, but I was fixing everything in the house back the way it was, because my mentality is, if you destroy the house, I'm going to fix it back and, do it again. I dare you. And so, anyways, I thought the little kid was in the house, and actually they were outside in the yard, and I look out the window, and they're outside in the yard, and I'm talking to somebody that ain't even behind me. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
I have so many questions for you. Wait.
I would have been out of there.
So wait a second.
There's 2 or 3 paranormal teams that came out, and they said, yes, there's something going on with the house. So 3 different teams have came out, and 3 different teams have all come up to their own conclusions. So we're not just crazy. I mean, there's other people that have been out here,
I want to go to that house now. I want to see this because I've been trying hard to actually see something. I mean, I know I say this. I mean, I play with the Ouija boards and dabble with
You need to come visit me and let me take you to Waverly.
I try to provoke the ghosts. I've done a lot of things I shouldn't have done. It's kind of embarrassing to say, like, rub my nutsack on a Ouija board.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Almost burned the house down.
The big thing that they've taught us is you don't acknowledge it and you don't encourage it. We had the screen porch. We put plastic up on the screen porch, and that way we can keep it warmer in the winter. And then one night we went outside, smoked a cigarette, came back in, and then we went back out like 30 minutes later, and there was all different kinds. I got pictures of it. There's all kinds of writing on the wall, like top to bottom, all across the entire porch almost. It was like Latin sayings and phrases. We have no clue what it was saying. We have no clue how it was written.
Oh
I
man.
tried re- I tried reproducing it with lipstick, with crayons, because I'm a skeptic too. So I'm like, okay, how is this written? And some of it was like letters, like it was like numbers, and then uh, I
Like,
don't know. It just made no sense to me.
was it like dried
Um,
blood? Did it use dried blood?
I just, no, it felt like a crayon, or it felt like I don't know. It didn't want to come off though. Like it was on there. Like I had to like scrub it off to get it off. Like I don't
So
know.
wait,
I, I
you
couldn't
just
figure it out.
you just saw this one day. Like you go out to the back porch and it's just there on the
Yeah,
wall.
and
And
it like the top of the porch, the bottom of the porch, all the way down one side and around the corner. Like it was everywhere.
was it your kids?
And
Were
you
they
didn't
playing a
freak
prank?
out?
There's no way that you're gonna write Latin phrases correctly in numbers and different phrases in like 20 minutes between us going in and out of the house and do it like that. I mean, I don't know if you are a fluent scholar in all these different languages. Yes, maybe you could, but we're country people. We don't know how to speak Latin or write Latin.
Well, another
You know,
skeptic would ask. A skeptic would ask, "How do you know it was Latin? Do you dabble in Latin? Do you know it's Latin?"
because the way if you ever looked at Latin in a book, you know
Mm-hmm.
it looks weird. Like, the phrases look weird and they sound. You know, if you try to pronounce them, they sound weird. Like it doesn't look like Spanish. Like you can see
Okay.
Spanish and you know what
Just
I'm
like
saying?
the sororities and stuff. The lettering in
Yeah,
that is
yeah. You know it's not
sometimes
English.
Latin.
Yeah, it's not Spanish. You know it's something different. You know.
Okay. Yeah, and that's kind of interesting too. So your kids aren't going to be doing that either. So damn, man,
Yeah, we're just
shit.
gonna reach it anyways. I mean, my wife's short, and so I mean, to reach the top of the porch and to ride it perfectly left to right, would be kind of hard to do.
So wait, you're. It sounds like you have a prankster ghost.
Yeah, it really is because when it first started, she was upstairs and she got locked in the bathroom upstairs, and it felt like the pressure in the room got really big, and she couldn't get out, and she screamed, and then when it released her, and she got the door open, it just about she just about fell on her butt because she was pulling on the door.
Hmm.
But then I would go to work, and like there was a Chris Stapleton song like "More of You" or something,
Right.
and she would go upstairs and it would be playing that one song on the record, and it would pick it up and then repeat it, and pick it up and repeat it. And so she got smart, and she was like, "I'm gonna unplug it," and so she unplugged it, and then she didn't make it halfway down the hall, and then her phone started playing it, and then so she stopped all the app, and then it played it again, and then she turned her phone off, turned her phone back on, it still played,
Oh
and
man.
one day her mom came over and it played it on her mom's phone, and her mom doesn't even
No
own the phone.
way.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
dude, like this is awesome. Okay, don't be afraid of. Wait, do you still live at this house?
oh yeah, I mean it's died down for the most part.
Wait,
Every
wait,
once
wait,
in a
wait,
while it
wait.
just
Wait a second. Hold on. The house you live in right now is the house you're talking about. That's haunted.
yeah. There's about 2 or 3 times a year where it's more active for some reason.
Oh, so
Uh,
holy
like
shit. Okay.
the time right about now is like this last month. This month is usually last month was when we had the doors open in the kitchen. Like every door and every drawer in the kitchen open in one day for some reason.
See.
I like you literally walk through the kitchen and then turn around and all the doors are open. Like you would know if somebody
Classic.
was running on the kitchen behind you, like opening doors. Like it would be hard for somebody to do that fast for you to walk through the kitchen, turn around, and it would happen. You know.
Either you
So
live with a
Okay,
ghost
I
or you
would be
live.
packing my crap and moving out.
No.
that's
It,
what they actually told me. They told us to move. That was their recommendation is to move, and we're like, no, this is our house. We're just going to ignore it.
well,
So
this is like
I
a
don't
better
know.
version of Sick House. I don't know if you read the book Sick House, but at least you
Oh,
guys
that's
aren't
so
like
good.
dying and shit. Sounds like you just have
Right.
a either you are living with a prankster ghost or it's the invisible man who's just kind of like
Yeah, I don't know if it's a. Well, it would say prankster, but then the scratches, like it would leave like 3 scratches, in like the middle of your back, which is hard to reach because you
well,
can't reach back and scratch yourself.
some pranks go too far. Some pranks go too far.
And that's like demon marks, isn't it?
Yeah.
This
Well,
sign of
yeah, that
a
was,
demon.
Oh shit.
yeah, it was,
Oh, wait a
yeah.
second. Oh, wait. This is reminding me of what Erica said when she was on the show. Oh, man. Do you think maybe it's connected to her past experience? Wait.
I don't know because I know she did live in a house where she had issues with the subject of that first book, and literally the ceiling fan came unscrewed out of the ceiling and landed on his head and knocked him out when he was coming at her. Um, and so we talked about it, and she
Oh,
as a
shit.
kid that she used to have a imaginary friend, um, and she's always had vivid dreams and stuff too, and there's been things. What was it? Our daughter would see a shadow there for a little while, like a year and a half ago. She would see a shadow man in her dreams for a few days, and then like I would get a call like a week later that somebody I knew had died, and then it would go quiet, and then she would see a shadow man, and she
The
didn't think much
Shadow
about
Man
it.
conspiracy. The Shadow. So, wait.
And
That's true, though,
yeah, like
because even in the Deadman's Tome conspiracy issue, there was a story I ran that was like, it was kind of like on the fence on this. It was like the idea that you see the shadow of the person who's going to die. Is that it?
but
Like you
she would
see.
just all she would see would be red eyes, and she would see a shadowy figure kind of thing.
Yeah.
And literally, like a week or whatever, a week or two later, I would see on Facebook or get a call or whatever that somebody I knew had died, and then she would never see it again. And it happened like 4 or 5 times, and it makes no sense.
So you think maybe this, whatever this is, has like an attachment to your wife then?
Oh,
I
I
don't
think
honestly.
so. I'm convinced of
Yeah,
that
that's what
already.
it sound. That's what I would think too.
Well, I know there for a little while after my brother was murdered, he was in the house with us because I would take a selfie and his head would be like you would see his head beside me. I've got pictures like I couldn't even. I don't know how to photo edit. I'm not even trying to. I
Of
wouldn't even want to
who?
try to put his head, my
You.
brother, but you would see his whole goatee and everything beside me in pictures.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it had happened. It was there for about a few months after he died, and then it never happened again.
That's
Yeah,
so
but
bizarre, man. Like,
my brother's ashes are in the house, though.
man, that's
I
so
don't know
weird
if
on so many levels. Like, it's like, so what is a
That's so
ghost? What
cool
is
too,
this?
though.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It
Don't
was
get me
like
wrong.
he was telling you
yeah,
that
it's
he
all
was
fun and games.
everything was okay and that he was still around and
Yeah,
Okay. If we have any
but yeah,
listeners
see
right
the big
now, I was just say if we have any
focus
listeners,
is
just
the.
ask. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good. I was going to tell you that the we got married right about the end of one of the major activities, and even my brother, when he was here, heard crazy things. Like he heard footsteps and stuff, and then that was like the end of July, and like
Hmm.
not even 2 months later, the girl he was with shot him. It was like 6 weeks or a month later. Shot him in the head and shot herself. And none of her family members said that she was suicidal or crazy. And so we were always worried that something here went back with them.
oh
And
yeah.
Oh wow,
we'll never know. But it just didn't make sense, and the timing was really weird too.
man.
No.
Hey, you know what? As a, you know, being in the military, you might know a thing or two about conspiracy or conspiracy theories, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't follow too many. I followed the I watched the Active Measures documentary recently, which was pretty good, and I follow 9/11 and JFK. I've seen a bunch of those things.
Yeah,
So
that always interested me too.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
yeah, the
what's your
9/11
I don't
thing.
know.
Yeah,
what's your favorite
so
conspiracy theory?
probably 9/11 and then probably JFK.
So what's the
Yeah.
so with 9/11? I know you know a lot of other information has come out. I mean, so what's the theory right now? Because what do you believe? Like it was all manufactured. I mean, we definitely saw all the towers fall. We definitely saw planes crash into them. So, like, what are we saying here?
Well, I've also seen where there was holograms of planes, and they actually weren't actual planes hitting the buildings, and then it was actually just a controlled demolition that set off charges and collapsed the buildings perfectly straight down.
Holograms of planes, but we saw the planes. They took off. They know the planes took off. We know they were hijacked, and I saw the video footage when I was a kid. They crashed into the building.
But the ones that crashed in Philadelphia, did you see any plane debris in that field that crashed?
Nope.
No, that's one thing they say about that one. But that doesn't mean, what does that say about the other ones? The other ones are for planes that crash into buildings.
Well, unless it was holograms that made you think of it. But I mean, I don't know about the hologram thing. But I've seen there's a video and there's stuff out there. It makes you think, that technology and everything else. Like they didn't if they had done this explosives the right way and everything, then they wouldn't have had to worry about. They could just take the planes and then take them somewhere else.
Right.
Same effect.
That's like that. What was, I don't even remember where it was flying to, but somewhere overseas, there's that plane that just like disappeared and nobody knows where it is.
Yeah, the Malaysia flight.
Yeah,
that's definitely interesting too.
That's freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, where did all those people go?
Hey, that's a good question.
I mean, they were there. They were there on the radar, and then all of a sudden, they're gone.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, I've seen things on the 9/11 thing to where there was a plane that landed in Chicago or whatever that wasn't supposed to have landed because there wasn't supposed to be no planes in the air, and nobody knows what plane that was.
So, and I heard
that's interesting.
And I heard a lot of counter arguments to this too. Some people are like, oh, but jet fuel can't melt steel and all that stuff. But it's like, so what do you think about that? Like, so we have these planes that crash. You have people falling from the building. I mean, you have people jumping out from the building. So obviously the building's been hit by something. They're jumping out the window.
Well, it had been hit before by a small plane, in like '98 or something before that, and it didn't fall over. And then there's another building number 5 or whatever it was, that was like 3 blocks away.
Yeah.
That collapsed perfectly down by itself that nothing touched.
Oh, I know about that one, but there's other video footage that shows that it actually wasn't a perfect fall. There's video.
It fell and no plane hit it. So even if you're going to argue about the big one falling, explain to me how that one fell.
I don't know.
It was an earthquake.
Yeah.
But like a small plane versus a 747 is a big difference, though. I mean, talking about we're talking about 2 planes. Like it was like boom and boom, and I mean holograms aren't going to do that at that time. A hologram plane. I mean, you saw the explosions.
What I want to know is that if it was all bull, why did they do it? I want to know.
Well, apparently the one that hit Pentagon, that wing held a lot of servers with a lot of some kind of information. Like apparently there was like $2 billion went missing or something.
Yeah.
About that thing. The 9/11 ones, about a couple months before it happened, there was some big insurance policies that happened around that time. Now, once it happened, we went to war in Afghanistan, Iraq, and those are big oil countries too. So I'm not sure how much money was involved, but if conspiracy theories are true, then money probably was a factor.
So, okay. I mean, okay. Well,
the only thing we have to go off of is the report that was issued that everybody contradicts and nobody believes, because even the steel was melted away before even it could be tested truly. Like what they have as evidence for what they say happened makes no sense, and that's why there's so many conspiracy theories behind it. because a lot of other things make more sense than what they say did. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
the counter argument to that I heard was that jet fuel on fire isn't going to melt steel. It's not just melting; it's the whole the structure has been compromised because the impact of the planes and the weight. We're talking about huge ass planes,
Well,
and
that's the
and you
top
could
of the
see
building. Why did the
that it's
bottom of it
bending.
blow out?
And sorry, they have footage where it shows that it looks like the building is bending as if the structure is giving in. I mean, and then you say there's explosions at the bottom. Okay, well, where's the proof that there's explosions at the bottom? Where's the proof that there's controlled demolition? You know, you want to say, oh, there's
You haven't-
C4. Where's the C4?
You haven't seen those videos out there?
I mean, videos are one thing, but show me a picture of a bomb going off. I mean, where's the bombs going off on those two towers?
Well, there's a lot of first-hand accounts that people that were in the bottom that heard explosions, and
Yeah, I
then
know
there's
about that
videos
too.
out there.
Now,
Yeah,
also in those towers, they also had tanks. What was it? They had fuel. They had fuel there for generators for those reasons. So they're going to go off if they get exposed to flame like that intensity. They're going to go off. They're going to explode. I mean, and they can explain it that way. I mean, is that not a valid counter argument? I mean, do we?
Well, I mean, if that's true, then they should just put it in the paperwork that that's what happened, and then that would have been the end of it. You know,
Yeah.
like
Right.
if they had done a better reporting and explaining everything better, then there wouldn't have been any conspiracy theories, or they wouldn't have had as much teeth as what they have. But the reason why there is so much teeth to them is because there's so little evidence of whatever they say actually happened.
Now,
You know?
and I do recall that the black boxes were taken from the planes.
Something.
Yeah, like we don't really have that evidence right there.
Somebody has it.
Is that
Yeah,
still
there's
true?
a bunch of sketchy things. Yeah, that's a bunch of sketchy things.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying that if all the evidence made sense and they put everything out there that was supposed to come out there, it's like the JFK thing. Like they released a bunch of files recently, but they've had chances over the years to release all the evidence, and they're still redacting documents, and they're still not putting everything out there all these years later.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're like, just present the evidence and just put everything out there and let it be what it'll be, you know?
That's because they want us to believe what they want us to believe. You know?
Oh yeah, and even with the
Yeah.
JFK documents, they redacted that. They redacted a shit ton. It's hard to really make. It's like this doesn't really do much. It's heavily redacted.
Right.
Yeah. There was a recent thing called Chasing Oswald on the History Channel
Yeah.
that was really interesting. Or Tracking Oswald or something.
I think it was tracking off.
Now, I'm definitely with you on a few things with the 9/11. Like the plane in the field, where's the debris? It's like they cleaned it up way too fast, so like it doesn't make any sense. It definitely. I mean, I definitely saw planes crash into the two towers. Now, whether or not liquid steel could melt it, or the weight to compromise, or the explosion of the tanks at the bottom, I don't know. The other building collapsing, I don't know why that collapsed. Even if there's another video out there that shows the angle where it looks like it doesn't really fall directly into itself, or it does kind of bend, but like, why did it even collapse? Like, how? Like, what hit it? Nothing hit it, right? It wasn't hit by anything.
No.
And then there's actually evidence. There's actually a gas station camera about the one that hit the Pentagon that they haven't released yet. Because some people say that was a missile that hit it instead of a big. Because you imagine a big plane that you're going to fly that low to the ground. Where these guys have no flight experience. They have no clue what they're doing. They just took over the thing and precisely flew this thing on the ground right at the right area, and then turned it just right and hit this Pentagon just right in this one area.
And really, if all this was done,
if I throw you in the cockpit, are you going to be able to do that?
No, not me. Not me. But what I
Even if-
heard was that they played Flight Simulator. They played Microsoft Flight Simulator and practiced that way in a desert cave somewhere.
I don't think
Well,
that would.
I played Flight Simulator on my Super Nintendo when I was a teenager. You think I'm gonna be able to fly a plane though because I played a PlayStation game or whatever?
Can you do a barrel roll?
No.
Wait. What about that? What about that guy? Okay, what about that guy who, I don't know if you want to say hijack or stole, but he stole the plane. He was flying it. It was in Seattle, and he was like, "I'm gonna do a barrel roll with this thing." You know about that?
Oh my God.
Please tell me you know about that.
Yeah.
It's pretty recent.
Yeah, I mean, you can get you can get in the cockpit, and if you can find the right button, you can do autopilot, and you're flying the plane. But really,
This guy is my new hero because, I mean, yeah, he died in the end, but all he wanted to do, I see him as like this middle-aged man, probably has like 2 kids, paying child support, probably failed in marriage, probably twice, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna take this plane. I want to live Star Fox. I want to do a barrel roll. God damn it. He goes into the plane. He goes off. He knows he's either going to go to jail or be dead. That's 2 options.
It was a midlife crisis, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And man, it was just the conversation between him and the air traffic controller was classic. That's something that can be used for a comedic movie. And we need that movie now because things are intense, People take things way too seriously now.
If you remember back during 9/11 and everything, I don't remember. Do you remember that there used to be red, yellow, green alerts, and every day it was something different? And oh my God, we're at orange alert today, and we're at red alert today. And
yeah, the Bush days.
You remember
the Bush days.
You remember how hyped up they kept us in this fear, And then all of a sudden we changed presidents and everything, and all of that kind of went away, and it wasn't so much fear.
Right.
I mean, there was still stuff out there to be fearful of.
There's fear.
They
There's
just
fear.
didn't scare the hell out of us with. Yeah, they just didn't scare the hell out of us with it. It was kind of like,
There's a whole new level of fear.
Right.
When Obama was president, that's when college campuses were afraid of Halloween costumes and all this other crazy stuff. People were melting down over hurt feelings. I'd rather. Oh man.
I'll tell you something interesting about the 9/11 stuff.
Oh yeah.
The Pentagon thing.
Ooh, okay.
My parents were to be on vacation in Washington, D.C., and were scheduled to visit the Pentagon the day that happened.
No way.
Fortunately, yes, sir, I swear to you, my dad had a mild stroke about 2 weeks before, and it had affected his vision in one of his eyes in the left bottom quadrant of his, I think it was his right eye. And Mom asked the eye doctor if they could still go, and the eye doctor said, no, I think it would be a wise idea for you to stay at home. And she was right. So they canceled the trip, but they were scheduled to be there. I would have been a wreck had they been gone.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was in high school, and so I was off campus doing college classes in high school, and then I came back to campus to the high school, and everybody had the TV on, and everybody was freaking out. This is a small town, 400 people in my town, and I graduated with 30 people, and so it was a big deal when all this was going on.
Oh, yeah. I was at work. I remember where I was and what I was doing when that happened. So.
And we do have footage. We have this voice calls or whatever. People definitely on the flights, and they were affected by something. I mean, that wasn't manufactured, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of calls and dispatchers, and I've seen some new ones not too long ago that came up where a lady was giving an account of something. But I just don't know. I mean, even the possibility that something could have happened like that is scary enough in my own mind, whether it happened or not,
So this is what's weird. As a skeptic mind, it's like, because the other thing is that Al-Qaeda, at least, they definitely wanted, it's like Osama was definitely planning something. Like, there's documentaries and footage that shows that he was talking about this attack. They're planning something, but They could have done it any number of ways. I mean,
and when North Korea talks crap all the time, and you think that they're, going to attack somebody, and even recently, it really looked like they were going to, but they were smart enough to be like, you know what, we're just over here just blowing steam, and we're not really going to do anything.
Yeah, well, they don't really have capability. I mean, they kind of do, but they're kind of fucked. But Al Qaeda doesn't really. Al Qaeda's not a nation. They're just a group. They're a terrorist group. But when you combine that with we know that the flights or the planes were hijacked. We know that there's all this footage from even people on the planes. There's footage of the planes colliding into the buildings. We see people falling from the buildings, from those same holes, and these people are free falling and they're dying.
Yeah.
So either it's this huge combination of we're going to plan a flag over flag operation, because that's what really the conspiracy is getting at, right? That the government planned this flag over flag to point it at the Middle East, to point it at Iraq, when it had nothing to do with Iraq, but it really had to do with this, terrorist cell. We're going to plan this, even though it was already planned by the terrorist group, kind of, sort of. It's kind of weird. Or use that opportunity to shoot a missile into the Pentagon. I mean,
Well, it's just like, imagine this. Imagine when North Korea was all about, hey, we're going to attack you, and, our missiles are bigger than your missiles, and our hands are bigger than your hands, or whatever they did. Imagine if somehow or another something had launched, and they were able to say, oh, it came from North Korea during the time when all that was going on. It would be very believable to be like, yes, they did it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Well, think about this. That's kind of the same kind of mentality,
So, I mean, okay, but that goes back to the same thing. So we know the planes were hijacked, but they were hijacked by what special service agents or Delta agents or whatever, Delta forces that were on undercover missions, they're hijacked by Americans, do a flag over flag operation on Americans. I mean, that's kind of it kind of goes against what they were saying on some of the footage and some of the audio clips. This seems kind of weird.
Well, another good one is, have you looked up the Sandy Hook conspiracy?
Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't.
There's some good ones.
I definitely do not buy into that at all. What, that they were actors, that the kids didn't die? I find that very. There's very few things I find offensive, but that's one thing. I'm like, what are you telling me? Since when did they show dead kids in any sort? Anytime there's dead kids being mentioned, they don't really show footage of that. They don't show, because no one wants to see that on TV. No one wants to show footage of dead kids on TV.
Right.
But
well, I've seen the videos to where they did conferences, and the guys were cutting up and everything, and then they started the conference because I thought they thought the cameras were off, and when they started the conference, all of a sudden they switched faces, and they all of a sudden were crying out of nowhere, and they were just laughing 2 seconds before. And that one guy that the kids ran to his house or whatever, he changed his story 4 or 5 times, consecutively. Oh, they came to my house here.
I mean,
and then there's actually police reports where the police were this happened, and the dash cam don't match it at all. So you're like, okay.
But why would they do that? I mean, other than to have everybody's attention on that instead of something they were doing.
I'm pretty sure they passed gun legislation pretty close to just after that happened.
Yeah. Well,
gun legislation. I mean, but what gun legislation? Because are you still there?
I could be wrong. Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't recall any sort of with gun legislation. It was try to tighten because people still have the right to bear arms. You could still own the same sort of guns you could have owned beforehand. I mean, there's always been things out there involving guns and different things, and
Like the Las Vegas thing is, I still don't understand all that. Like,
Well, the Las Vegas
that's
one is definitely weird. That I don't understand how one guy can be doing that. That's. But we'll go back to the Sandy Hook thing because it's like the. Okay, so were you telling me that none of those kids died? That those families aren't grieving due to some sort of loss? Because there are funerals around that time that were dead kids from that. From the or it's not high school, but from the school. I mean, like, and as far as the cutting, I heard that too. But people cutting up in one hand and then being serious in the other hand, I don't know about that. Like, I work a very.
I've seen it on video.
I mean, I work a very sensitive job.
I
I work a very sensitive job that has to do with kids dying on my day job, and I'm able to go. How I'm able to do it, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm fucked in the head. I don't know. But I can go from one emotion to the other. I can go from one emotion to the other. And there are special investigators that I know that can work child death investigations where they can literally eat ketchup and fries and joke around and see a child dead there on the table being autopsied. Okay, they do that because they're so used to it. But then, I
pulled a dead girl out of a truck that landed on top of her, and went about my day just after that. You know,
just I don't know. Like, I know, like, for me, like, humor's what I go to. That it helps me out. Like, humor helps me out. I mean, for maybe some of the people, they bounce back like that. I don't know. It's just because you had the guy, the kid who went in there with the guns, supposedly. I mean, like.
Well, there was a guy in the woods that they captured, but nobody ever mentioned who that was.
He was running away. Of that? Yeah, he was running away from the school.
But that wasn't the dude that they caught, that they apprehended.
No, it wasn't. But the dude that they apprehended was actually in the school. Right? Actually, he killed himself, right? He shot himself.
I think so.
Yeah, he shot himself.
Yeah.
And they say that dude was actually, he ran away because he was a coward. I think he was supposed to be banging one of the teachers there or something. Probably. He probably was a married.
Oh my Lord.
I don't know, man.
There's some weird stuff out there. I mean, to everything there's another side to it, and you never really know what the truth is.
I don't know. I know that got Alex Jones in trouble. That's the one thing they use to get Alex Jones off of every platform now.
Yeah.
He made fun of, he talked about Sandy Hook. So this might be crazy. We're talking about Sandy Hook. We're gonna be banned from the first YouTube episode.
We're gonna be banned, but it ain't got nothing to do with that.
No, here's a shot cam. The next cam is gonna be the boob cam. I'm gonna tell you whose boobs those would be.
Wait a minute.
I don't want to see your boobs.
No, they're not mine. They're not mine.
Wait a minute.
We're gonna have to start streaming on Pornhub.
Whose boobs?
I don't know. But at this rate, we're gonna have to start streaming on Pornhub. I don't know. But
am I gonna make money off this?
But you know what? I do enjoy conspiracy theories. I know it's challenging a lot of stuff, but it's good. It's good.
What I love about it is I love to hear different aspects, because I don't have a biased opinion of one or the other. So, and I do religion's the same way. Like when I go on deployments, I will talk to everybody, especially the people that are diehard. You know, this is the way it is, and this is the book, and this is how I believe. And I love talking to them because I love getting their psychology of, what they think and how they think about it.
Yeah.
And I don't ever tell them if they're wrong or right or whatever, because there's different pieces of different things that you can put together, and in general it makes sense. To believe one thing wholeheartedly, that this is exactly the way, this is the only way, and you have to, and I'm going to force my beliefs on you. I don't believe any of that. But I mean, all these things, there's grains of truth in everything. Otherwise, in every story, there's a grain of truth to it somewhere. So it's good to kind of just talk to people about everything,
as far as the Vegas shooting, I think that one was definitely planned. That wasn't just one guy. All the hardware in the hotel room, no way. That's a group effort.
I saw the taxi cab video where there were shots being fired, and like they said that was a strobe light or something, but you can see something coming out of a window that wasn't where the guy that was shooting from.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that doesn't make sense, you know.
And interesting how he was targeting a country music concert, which would be stereotypically mostly Republicans, and he did that for that reason. It's like, and I like how like the FBI questioned the girlfriend, right? It was like, oh, but she has a clear conscience, she said. And then, of course, nothing came from the FBI investigation, which nothing comes from any real FBI investigation. Hell, even, you know what? At this point, as far as investigations go, what was it? The Florida shooting. There was a shooting in Florida where the kid was questioned by local authorities and by, because the kids knew that he was going to do it. They were like, he's a likely suspect. People were questioning him. But even after that,
yeah, those play in Texas too.
Yeah. Oh, the Santa Fe shooting, which nearby where I live, like maybe 40 minutes away. Every kid knew that he was going to do it. He was likely suspect to do that, and he's been questioned. But it's kind of like, what do you do? Are you going to like throw him in jail to prevent it from happening? Maybe you should. Maybe you should find a way to do that. I don't know. But I was getting at is the FBI looked into this girlfriend, the girlfriend of the Vegas shooter, and I'm pretty sure she helped him out one way or the other. Someone else helped him out. There had to have been someone else in that room.
Yeah.
That's a lot of luggage, especially going into a hotel in Vegas.
Yeah. And nobody knew that he was taking all that stuff to his room either. There was no flags or nothing,
Man.
Right. If you walk through the lobby 20 times, I think somebody would have noticed.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's some crazy shady shit. Now that definitely would be something that someone and that guy was a Democrat. He was left leaning as you can get. I mean, he was like all the way on that side. And so why is he owning guns? Why is he doing this? It's like he's setting it up to be used as a talking point to change gun rights. It's so fucked up.
Right.
It's so fucked up. That writes itself. Especially when he was targeting
Republicans.
Huh?
I don't understand. Like, I'm okay with gun rights and everything, and like I have a handgun and things like that. But honestly, like I'm not gonna go out and buy an assault rifle because I'm not gonna go hunting with an assault rifle to shoot deer and to provide food for my family. I'm not going to. Like, there are certain guns that I don't think that you really need, honestly, to have. I mean, the basic handguns for protection, I understand all that stuff, but there are certain guns out there that I don't see the purpose of.
But it's for the militia.
They belong to
But it's for the militia. It's for the militia. Do
they need it though?
The militia needs the guns in case tyranny happens.
Okay. Sure.
Because those they're gonna level out against the drones, the tanks, and the other stuff that the government has.
And the zombies and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the tyranny has kind of already happened. I mean, corporations, lobbyists, pretty much run the government. I mean, they have more say so than the people do.
Yeah, that's one thing I have issues with is because like there's so many cures and there's so much that we can do with healthcare and with fighting illnesses, and they won't even allow it to be talked about in some places because honestly, it looks like they make more money off medicine than they do cures.
Yeah.
They do.
And that may not be true.
You know as well as I do that they have a cure for cancer somewhere. They just do not want us to know about it because they make billions and trillions of dollars off the medicine.
There's some people that go to other countries and get cured because it's not regulated here, but it's out there, and they'll risk their lives to go do it for the.
How how many of our presidents have you known that have died of cancer?
But McCain died of cancer.
Yeah, but
Cancer of the brain.
how many?
So I guess I can't cure that. I guess
Well,
he didn't do enough favors for Obama. So that's what happened with him. Oh, by the way, one last shot cam. Damn. I realized this episode got political. Son of a bitch.
yeah.
Okay. One last shot cam.
Kinda.
I'm waiting for finally a question. Have you ever? I know your wife is listening, and your wife would be great. Can she ask a "Have you ever" for you? Ooh, man, that would be so revealing.
I could. Let me go find her. I don't know where she went to.
Oh, someone's watching. Have you ever? Have you ever ate shit out of a diaper? Have you ever?
Ew,
Have you ever?
Have you?
Drank a beer from a dumpster? Yeah.
No. Ew.
I think she gave up on us for the bed.
Oh.
We actually got a book signing in the morning at 10:30 here in downtown Hearn. We got a couple
Oh my
local
God.
artists
Downtown.
that play music.
Wait, do you guys live in Texas, right?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
we're in Hearn. We've got there's a local bookstore, Magnolia Bookstore.
You guys
No,
live.
Crossroads.
You guys live in. Well, I don't want to dox you guys, but I know. You know. I know.
Have you ever?
I think we live in the
Okay.
same city.
I had someone. Hey Jesse, I just had someone message me.
Yeah.
And they asked a "Have you ever?" question.
Okay.
It says YouTube won't let him comment. Have you ever gotten
Is he
so
banned
drunk
from
you-
YouTube or something? Because it's a chat, but okay.
No, I don't know. Have you ever gotten so drunk you pissed yourself?
I pissed
Jesse.
myself without getting drunk, but yes, I've done that. I'll take a shot, but yes, I've done that.
I've blacked out before and woke up next morning and my jeans were all torn and everything, and I don't remember how it happened. But I was, yeah.
Torn or pissed? Because torn and pissed are different.
No, torn. No, I
No,
was I was in an apartment complex, and so apparently I made it back to my apartment. But I think there was like different levels of the ground, and I think I tripped along the way and like torn them or like cut them. Like I had like bruises and stuff.
At least you still had them on.
I did have them on though, yeah.
It could have been worse.
Yeah.
Well, I pissed myself one time. I thought I was pissing. I thought it was good. I was too drunk. I went outside after a show. This is before you, Becky. Back when Marchese was on the show. I went outside on the back porch on the deck, and I thought I was pissing into the grass like I normally do. Giving back to nature, giving back to the community, right? They say give back to your environment, so I'm just giving it back to the soil. Nope, I was pissing through my jeans. I was like, that is sad and pathetic. That is sad and pathetic. So, in shame, I stripped myself naked in the backyard, of course. Took my piss-soiled, piss-soaked jeans and put it in the washer so that way I can hide the evidence. Of course, I did this all drunk and stuff, so probably fucked it up somehow. Oh yeah, that was the day where I took all the washed clothes and kind of like just threw them out, like they didn't matter, because all that mattered was me hiding my evidence, hiding my jeans, you know. Kind of reminds me of the time when I shat myself.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I threw that away. Yeah,
Yeah, those are bad days where you burn the underwear and you hide all the evidence. You bury a hole in the backyard and don't know what's gonna be done.
That's right. I threw it over a fence.
Yeah, there you go.
I did. It's my neighbor's fence, but it doesn't matter because it's a vacant yard.
You threw your underwear.
Yeah,
You threw your underwear in your neighbor's yard.
Vacant yard. It's so vacant that it's a lot of it's a small patch of a forested area, if that makes sense.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
The guy that asked the question just said his brother's friend pissed in someone's refrigerator He actually opened the crisper drawer, pissed in it, and closed it, and it passed out.
That's classy. And there's people that piss in people's closet. Oh man, I had someone who pissed in my closet once.
I would kill somebody.
No, okay. Oh man, I'm telling the story. You got to verify you are military police, but not legit police, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, it still makes you legit, like a military level, but okay. That's kind of fucked up way I put that. Anyway,
Yeah.
So I didn't realize this kid was 17 at the time. But anyway,
my gosh.
I
And he
wasn't
was
keeping an
drunk
eye.
and pissed
I wasn't.
in your closet.
I wasn't keeping an eye on them. Okay, he came in with the buddy of mine who's also the military guy. He was in Iraq. He did some time over there, and I didn't really care about this. I mean, this kid does whatever he does. Well, I guess we're playing Halo and all this shit. We're taking shots for like whoever loses and stuff. And this kid had like a number of Captain Morgan shots. He got so fucking drunk. He like pissed himself on the goddamn couch.
Oh my God.
He pissed himself on the goddamn couch. It got everywhere. Now, my reaction to this was instantly, as soon as it happened, as I picked him up. This is a heavy motherfucker. 250 pounds, almost 300 pounds. I grabbed him by the stupid fucking Insane Clown Posse shirt. Just grabbed him, pulled him up. You know that force when you pull someone up by their shirt, but you pull them so hard, you like pull them up like right away. It's like you grab their fucking fat. This kid was fucking fat. I grabbed this fucking bitch tits, grabbed him up, pulled him up, and I hauled his ass out to. I'm not a strong guy. I'm not like, I'm not like muscular or whatever. Hell, but I guess when there's a will, there's a way. I picked him up. I took his ass out to the front yard, threw him there. His shirt got ripped. By the time he made it out to the front yard, he had no shirt on. So I have this naked, flabby ass, or top up naked, flabby ass 17-year-old rolling around my front yard, drunk on rum, puking still, pissing.
Oh man.
Oh, by the way, we got a Ken Stark is in the chat.
Oh.
Oh, he said, dude, never start the story with, I swear I didn't know he was only 17.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Me and my friend came back from deployment, and he lived up on the East Coast, and everybody on that deployment, they all mostly lived there, but I lived in Texas. And so we came back, and I was like, I'm not driving. I'm not going to fly back for my three days off, because we still had the process out. I wasn't going to fly home and then fly back, because I didn't want to risk, I was about to be home anyways in 2 weeks. I wasn't going to risk flying and getting caught, in a delay. So we landed, and we showed up at the liquor store at 10 a.m., and he had his PlayStation, and so we loaded up on every alcohol we could find.
Yeah.
And we were like drunk by like noon. And we stayed drunk for like 3 days straight, and then we mustered at 10 a.m. like that Monday morning, and they were like, okay, you're off, because it's almost Thanksgiving. It's like, you're off, till like it's like Friday for the week or whatever. And so we went back and got drunk again, and we stayed drunk for like a week straight. I don't know how we did it, but we stayed drunk, and then like for Thanksgiving, we bought a bunch of steaks, and we like poured like a bottle of Jack Daniels over them and marinated them and like cooked them.
Sounds like the life.
Awesome.
That's the life to live.
It was awesome.
You stay drunk for a week straight? Oh, man.
I don't think we could do it now.
No, I'm dead.
Yeah. Back then we were good. We didn't have no issues. We played a whole game from beginning to end. It was just fun. I mean, but nobody pissed on us, something I know of. We never got in trouble. Nobody ever called the cops on us. We actually went to one day we went to the Walmart, and we found a Ninja Turtles collectible box set that had the Ninja Turtle mask, and we rolled through the gate with our Ninja Turtle mask on, and the gate guard just kind of looked at us and just kind of waved us on and didn't even like acknowledge us at all.
Oh,
I love it.
Man, I forgot to ask you, because you also like classic video games, huh?
Yeah, I've got there for a while. I had a bunch of the ROMs or whatever the emulators. I have a bunch of
Yeah.
emulators. Like I had a Ouya, which was an old system that don't work anymore, but it was a Kickstarter campaign that played the emulators.
Yeah, I know about that.
Uh, and so I've got those. But I got a PlayStation 4 and a Super Nintendo. And my issue with the PlayStation 4 is it's only got 500 gigs, and every game now is like 100 gigs plus all
Yeah.
the expansion packs.
I
So
have that same
I
problem
don't.
with the Xbox. I have the same problem with the fucking Xbox One. Like every game's like shit ton size. Like what the fuck, man?
Yeah, we have shady internet here, so I can't hardly download anything, and I gotta buy a hard drive for it to be able to download the next game. And
Well,
so
internet,
it's
internet,
annoying.
internet in this area needs to be a lot better for what it is. I mean, it's a major fucking city. God damn it. God damn it.
I live
Oh,
out in the middle of nowhere. Be glad that you don't live here because our internet is slow.
hey, we are coming towards the end of this podcast, but if you have some time, just like 15, 20 minutes, we could talk about who'd be the better dad with Jason, Michael Myers, and Leatherface.
Well, Michael Myers, the Halloween's coming out.
Save your thoughts now. We got to tease, because that is gonna be for a private show. You got to be business minded. That's for a private show. So I'll end it here.
That's for patrons.
Yeah, that's for patrons. I love you guys. You guys support, but the patron support just a little bit more, So I have to give them just a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? It's give and take. You know, it's like a 69. It's like I don't know what the fuck. I'm so fucking drunk already. How many shots have I had? I don't even know. I don't even know what the fuck I was going to go with that. But I'm sorry. If you made it this far,
It's a give and take.
Give
with
and
a
take.
patron.
Press the thumbs up button. Share. Sharing is caring. If you don't share it, you don't care. If you don't care, why the fuck you watched it this far? God damn it. Think about that.
And go to ELDuBois.com, buy our books.
Yes.
We've got the one coming out October 30th. So we'll be at the event tomorrow at 10:30 here in downtown Hearn. So yeah,
All right.
definitely leave us 5 stars. Tell us what you think.
All right.
Absolutely. And I downloaded your book too, by the way.
Yay! What's the
All right.
The poetry, the one with you and your wife.
Okay, yeah. It's not too long. It's not a very long book, so you can flip through it and then skim through it and let us know what you think about it.
All right.
I sure will.